Yeah, good. They should bring it back. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Merrimack Parks and Recreation Committee meeting of January 16th, 2019. And before we start our meeting, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Laura Janes, the chairperson, and to my right, we have...
I'm Christine Lavoie, co-chair.
Tracy McGraw, member.
Abby Cody, student representative.
Julie Poole, committee member.
Michelle Creswell, member and secretary.
Rohan Srinivasan, Boy Scout from Troop 424.
Thank you.
Kirsten Merlino, program coordinator.
Rick Renier, MYA liaison.
Maureen Hall, senior representative.
And Matt Kasparis, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Well, thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight, because I almost wore my pajamas, but I didn't.
Thanks,
So, hey, you don't know. So anyway, don't start. So anyway, if we have had a chance to look at the minutes, please, of November, we did not meet in December, due to many reasons. Any comments, discussion? Thank you again, Michelle, for doing the minutes.
Good job.
I do appreciate it.
I think I'm going to do this right. I vote we approve the minutes of 11/28/18 as written. I didn't see anything that we need to update at this time.
Do I have a second for the motion, please? Thank you, Rick. All those in favor of the minutes of November 8, 2018? All in favor?
Hold your hands.
I wasn't here. I have to abstain. No, I was here.
It's November.
November.
Yeah, it was
a while
November.
ago.
That sounds right, yeah.
I'm abstaining, I wasn't here.
She's
Correct.
abstaining? Yep.
Abstaining.
Okay, gotcha.
No, I was here.
Oh, you were here.
It was November.
I
Sorry.
wasn't here. Oh, that was too long ago. I remember. Okay.
602, sounds good. Thank you. So, good evening, and we have a awesome young man with a project at Wasserman Park. Welcome, Rowan. Did you want to add anything, Mr. Cook?
Nope, I'm gonna let him.
Okay.
Did you need to connect to the projector?
Use the projector? Yeah, I can. Does this say old business? That should be new business.
The reason why it says old business is because he came here before. He's just giving us an update on it.
Oh, yeah, it does say
you have the
update.
right
Business
adapter?
That were already out there and he's
Correct.
working on them.
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
You're right.
We gotta move Kirsten though.
Hi.
Yeah.
Be the same, isn't it?
Thank you, Chris.
Chris rocks.
As he trips over the wires.
Do you have the name of the show?
That would be the older people that do that stuff.
Oh, here we go.
Watch out.
Alrighty.
Lights went out.
Save that for Sunday.
Okay, you have the floor.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rohan Srinivasan. I'm a Boy Scout from Troop 424. This presentation is about my Eagle Scout project, which I finished this fall. I presented before all of you about April of 2018, and I'm here to kind of show you the finished project of everything you guys saw earlier. So the parts that haven't changed are there were 11 solar-powered lights in 2 different sections of Wasserman Park, and the lights were made to be identical to the ones already in place. And these are motion-activated lights, and they light up for about 1 minute. If you haven't seen them already, they are between the sections from about the softball area to the basketball area to the tennis courts. And the other section is in between the community garden and the volleyball area.
Yep, they're great.
So the 11 solar-powered lights, those are the 2 sections that they span across. They're really helpful in the fall and winter time where the sun sets a little earlier, so people still using the park around like 5 o'clock still have light to do the activities that they're doing. It's really helpful during Halloween, where there's a lot of younger children moving around on the roads there. And if people using the function hall too, it provides a pretty nice pathway there from the parking lot kind of down to the entrance to the function hall. And I've actually heard back from many residents who have said that these lights are really helpful and there are specific uses of them and to me, that's the best part, knowing that people coming back and saying that, you know, your project really helps, and I still use it. So here's kind of the time frame of things I've done. So obviously in April, I got all my approvals done. In July, after that, I did some of my fundraisers that some of you may have seen. I did a car wash and 2 bake sales. I got a lot of donations. I took feedback from the town engineer, and I did a lot of my buying of the materials and all that. In August, I did some of my pre-building, which was digging the holes, getting all the materials ready, painting all the posts and everything. In September, the first week before school, I actually put everything in the ground with cement. All the lights were adjusted and tuned for the right time that I needed them for. And all the remaining money was given off in a check to the town. And in January, I finished my workbook, and now I'm working towards actually getting the Eagle Scout rank.
Congratulations, nicely
Thank
done
you.
so far.
So here's the money that I raised. I raised about $1,492 through my fundraisers, and I only spent $1,214 about, and I donated the rest of it back to the town of Merrimack. Here's
Thank
a
you.
list of everything that was used. I included this just so people who donated to my project and helped out with my fundraisers and all that know what all their money actually went to, and how it kind of contributed to the final product.
Nicely done.
So here's some of the numbers of the project. The amount of workers involved were about 30 people, and those were from my home troop and other people who are in Boy Scouts and other people who aren't. It was over 320 hours of work on helping out the town, which is really good, and we raised about $1,500. So I'd like to give a special thanks to Mr. Galis, who's my advisor. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight, but he's been helping me since the beginning to the end, really, of help me answer any questions or anything like that. I'd like to thank Mr. Kasparius for all his guidance and help actually in the park and knowing where everything is and having all the answers to all the questions. I'd like to thank Mrs. Barrett, who was the operations manager at DPW, and she was the one who coordinated with me on how to dig the holes, where they're going to be, and all that. Dawn Tumola, who's the town engineer, she helped me with the specifications of my post and how they're going to apply and if everything will really hold up for a long time. And she did a really nice job with that. I'd like to thank the town council and you guys for your advice, for helping me improve any parts of my project that needed it. I had many sponsors and donations from a lot of different places in Merrimack, and that's a really good thing to see, that a lot of the businesses in our town and Nashua as well are really involved with local Boy Scouts and helping out the community and giving back. I'd like to thank my troop and my family for their support and contribution to my project as well. So here's some pictures from the car wash, which was my first fundraiser. As you can see, we have a lot of kids here helping washing the cars, doing kind of a good thing back to the community. And how I ran all my fundraisers was, it was like, just, you can get your car washed and you donate as much as you feel is necessary, just so there's no price restriction on any person. And it turned out really well. We raised about $800 from this car wash.
Great. Good. Yeah.
This was our bake sale, where we did the same thing. We had our troop donate a bunch of baked goods, and we just kind of displayed them out, put smiles on our faces, and we just charged how much ever people were willing to give, so we didn't feel like we were making people buy things they didn't want to or paying too much. And we raised about $600 from that.
Wow, good for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
We all are.
So here was the pre-building stages of digging the holes, getting the cement delivered, and painting the posts at my house. This was a lot of work, and I thank my troop. As you can see, there's many kids here who are helping out and giving their time back to my project and helping me give back to the community.
Great. Good.
And here's the actual work day, where there's a lot more kids here, and we're all working together with the cement mixer you can see over there. And how I kind of organized it was, every kid had a specific job, and we just went through and each person did their job, and I planned for 2 days to do the project, and we were able to finish in 1 day. So I was really happy with that.
That's fantastic.
Awesome, good one.
Thank you. And here's the finished project. All the lights are there, and in the picture you can see that the lights are pretty bright, and they are lighting up the pathways and doing their job.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank you all for listening to my presentation and making my project come to life, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Well, I just want to say good job, Rohan.
Thank you.
What year are you in school, if I might ask?
I'm a sophomore.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Nice job. I've been there many times and
It looks
they work
great.
great.
Be a project manager when you grow up.
That's right.
And you speak very well.
Thank
That was
you.
nice. That was
Yeah, I
nice.
don't think we're supposed to admit that we're there when the lights need to be turned on, so we'll leave that part out of it. But it is extremely useful
Oh,
when we've had to go
absolutely.
back in and out.
If you
We're
forgot
actually going to
something
the
or whatever.
dog park and going
Yes,
down
yeah.
that one strip, which is very dark, and
Yeah.
and there's been a lot of animals in between, so having the
Yes.
lights there, it's
Yeah.
kind of nice. So thank you.
But at the same time too, the function hall rentals are growing, so that's.
Right.
Right.
And those are allowed to be there at night, so that's okay, you know,
Right,
scheduled
exactly.
activities are fine,
Exactly. Right.
so.
Well, good job. Well, good luck with your last stage of the project.
you.
That's nice to
And-
have done.
And
in
actually,
your
before you leave, why don't we take you, have a picture taken?
Oh.
We'll have to turn on all the lights.
Did you bring one of my
Did I do the wrong ones?
No, you got one of them. You need the other one.
Oh, you know.
I know. No one likes it.
Oh, here we go. Oh, she got it, Kristen.
Well, she is.
She's hired.
Thank you.
She's hired.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about
Oh, Dad might want one,
how
yep.
about with Dad too? With Dad or?
Hey,
Because we really know who started all this.
Yeah, there you go.
He gets some kudos, I'm sure.
There we go, right
There
in
we
the
go,
middle. That's
perfect.
it.
Thank you.
But we want to try.
Great job.
Thank you, Joe. Nice job.
Can I just ask one other thing? How tall were the posts, all in all?
They were 12 feet.
Wow.
All the posts went about 3 feet in the ground.
Okay.
3 to 4
Yeah.
feet.
Because
say,
it's a
they're
little
pretty
rocky.
high.
Yeah, yeah, but they're great, and they have to be in lot far enough.
Yeah,
too.
because I was walking by with the dog and I'm like, wow, those are pretty high.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think there was one concern about the ledges. We fortunately
You
did
didn't
not.
We lucked out with,
That's
Like
amazing.
The last one just before the tennis courts, I think there was some concern there because there's a huge rock, but we did not.
You missed
That's-
it. Good
that's-
job.
lucked out, yeah.
Yeah, hey, perfect.
That was a good plan.
Excellent.
Great.
All right,
Thank
thank
you again,
again.
and
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming before us to let us know how you made out. It's awesome.
Very good.
That's ours.
Yeah.
Hit the power button again, though.
I don't know, that
Love
four,
to share
that-
all these pictures so we can post them on the Parks and Rec site.
Yep, we will.
and that troop 424 keeps cranking out,
They
don't
are.
they?
Yes, they do.
It's
And we
amazing.
have, yeah, like, there's a lot of good.
Absolutely.
We've
It-
seen quite a few come through. and
Over-
very well
over the
people watch
years,
it.
too.
Amazing.
Very enthusiastic.
Yeah,
There we
They
go.
have good leadership too, but good
Yeah.
adults. Good adults.
exactly.
That's what makes it work. They've been in business for a long time.
We have more roads though.
That Mrs. Krieger
We
is
have more
something
roads
too.
you can do.
We're fortunate to have, you know, people like her, which
More
has
ambitious.
so much.
She's an amazing woman, yeah.
Yep.
Very, in many areas of Boy Scouting too,
Oh,
like
God, yes.
Arrow of Light and
Hmm.
all kinds of stuff, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for coming.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, thanks a lot.
All right, so I wanted to just, Rowan was the only scout that was coming in tonight, but
Correct, that's fine.
we have a couple of other projects that are about 95% done. First one was at the parking lot behind my office at Wasserman, the entrance to the trail system, to the
Yes, I saw
conservation
it, I saw
area,
it.
is the kiosk by Anthony Milani. That it's obviously in. Conservation Commission has started putting information into the kiosk. He has to come back in the spring and paint it, but basically it's done. So hopefully we'll get him and come in the spring at some point when he's done.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
It does.
They have a map up there already,
Right.
so.
So, and then the other one is the Gaga Ball pit was put in this fall. We actually had, I actually went to there was an Eagle Scout ceremony at the park last week, like
Yeah.
the actual awarding of it for the MYA softball shed that was done last summer,
Which came out awesome.
which came out awesome. And a bunch of the scouts were actually out playing Gaga after the ceremony. So, so the pit itself is done. He's got to build us some benches. for the
Okay.
spring, and again, his is basically done, so we'll have kind of
And-
spectator
and
benches.
Where is that gonna be? Where
It's
is it?
behind, basically next to the playground, kind of behind the playground.
Okay.
Over there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Kind of behind the playground and the softball field on the backside there.
Is Lady Gaga there?
Yes.
I thought we were all supposed to break that in.
That's right.
Any day, come on over.
That could be interesting.
Good workout.
What is Gaga Ball?
Oh, and then there's the hopscotch.
Gaga ball is kind of like everybody's it dodgeball.
Dodgeball. But it-
You're in a
fence.
circular pit, and you can't pick up the ball and throw it. You have to just kind of slap the ball.
A handball.
And it's like a handball, yeah. It's kind of
So-
like a combination of dodgeball and handball.
Do-
I can show you a video later
Okay.
of it, but it's a really popular, particularly at camp.
So what does the court look like? Is it like a tennis
It's an
court?
octagon shape.
Oh, okay.
It's 24 feet wide.
Wow.
So you can get a lot of kids in there at once, and it's kind of like whoever gets the ball. If you hit the people's feet in front of you, they're out, and if somebody gets you out, then they're back in and you're out.
Friends
And
are like four squares.
kind of, yeah.
Kinda like
It used-
Fort
yeah,
Wayne,
exactly.
But as many kids
Yeah.
as you can fit in there.
But it's
Right.
we're hoping to get another one built at some point down by the waterfront. But
That'd be great.
so he's mostly done. And then if you recall back in November, we had Girl Scout Troop 10762 with their hopscotch court.
Oh,
They got their
At
approval.
Watson.
They got their approval from the council last week.
Yeah, I saw that.
But the council asked them to kind of relook at the location again. I know we kind of talked about it and about where to put it, so we're still working on that. It may still be at Watson, but it may move to Twin Bridge, or it may move to Wasserman, or I'm not sure yet. So,
Sure.
so we'll see. But council wasn't crazy about the idea of where they had picked it at
Which one
Watson.
did they present?
We were looking at, because the original plan was to put it up on the left hand, their original plan was to put up on the left side where the rink eventually is gonna go. It's not, the rink's
Yeah.
not there this year,
Yep.
because we hadn't finished clearing the ground, but, that's where they wanted to put it.
Yep.
So we had been talking about kind of behind the pavilion, and I guess they didn't like that idea, so we're working on that.
Twin Bridges, not a bad idea.
Twin Bridge is not a bad, it would get more use at Twin Bridge or even at Wasserman, but probably Twin Bridge would get the most use, so
Right.
I'm not sure yet.
More to come. Okay.
But more to come, but just figured I'd give you those quick
Well, thanks
updates.
for organizing all that, Matt. That's very
Yeah.
important for the troops, too. Okay. Update from Dog Park Committee, Merrimack Dog Park.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Yes, you can do the
There you
Vanna. If you want me to just do the whole thing, Matt?
Go
Is that
for
what
it.
you- Okay, so with the dog park, we still have a current balance in the fund of $1,690.04 as of January 2nd. We are currently running a calendar contest, and thank you very much to Pet's Choice, who has been, their staff has been so helpful in selling these and collecting the money for us. It's been fantastic. So to date, with this, we've raised approximately $652.55. We have gone through and done 2 purchases.
I'm sorry, I just saw Gus.
So if you haven't seen the calendar, please go to our Facebook page, Friends of the Merrimack Dog Park, and we have some of the pictures posted there, and you'll see what she's laughing about. It's Gus the Pit Bull in his bunny costume, which is hysterical.
Oh, that's funny.
So, as of right now, we have 6 small calendars left, and those are for a donation of $10. What we have here is a large one. Oh, Maureen, thank you, darling. Thank you.
Go.
Any big ones left, so I had to get the small one.
Yep, 6 small ones, so we're hoping to have a complete success and sell out. So if you haven't picked one up and we're considering it, please rush over to Pet's Choice tomorrow, because I don't know how many we'll have left by the end of the day. I think that's really it so far. I don't know if we'll do another purchase of any. We might take a listing if anybody's interested. It's coming towards February. You might, just run out. You have six more to go. So it's the first 6 people to Pet's Choice. You got them. So that's where we stand, and we'll have a final donation amount when that's done. And we'll submit that to you, Matt.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Well,
Thank
good
you, Vanna.
Yeah, good job on that. That's
Christine, any
wonderful.
other fundraisers the committee's working on at this point?
No current fundraisers right now. There's talks of different yard sales and stuff like that, but nothing finalized, possibly a restaurant, but been winter, holidays, people are just trying to recover from all that.
Yeah.
And look, we're gonna have our first snowstorm, so woo,
I'll believe it when I see it.
don't jinx us.
And that's
Excellent.
it that we have so far.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Good
You're
effort.
so welcome.
Good effort.
And one more. Thank you, Lorna Gonzalez, for all your work on this calendar. You organized it. She did everything, organized the meetings, put everything together, worked with the vendors, printing and all that. I just wanted to give her a shout out, and as well as Pet's Choice for all their efforts with the dog park. So,
Always.
thank you. More to come.
Excellent. Good job. Okay, Matt, where are we at?
All right, so
The survey.
I
Frank.
emailed out everybody the kind of the final version of the survey on Monday. We've, the holidays are on it, so it was kind of, Monday was kind of the one last look, so that went out yesterday, Kirsten? Tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow it's going out, okay?
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a busy week. So that'll be going out tomorrow to start, and we'll keep it out for a couple of weeks, and so obviously next month we'll have
Okay.
something to report on what kind of response we get.
Matt,
So that's
excuse
it.
me.
Yes.
When you say going out, remind me where it's going out again.
So we're going to start obviously with, social media, Facebook, Constant Contact. We'll do hard copies here and at the library and at the community center. We can post it to the Patch, to Merrimack Happenings, Merrimack Positive Forum, all of the above.
Even
Your
the po-
website.
And our website, yes.
And even
You
the
got all
po-
that?
Even the post office, if you put one up in the post office.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
It's just
Matt, a question. So when you have like the hard copies of them, right, as opposed to online, what do they do? Just fill it out and then hand it back to? whoever
Yeah,
got it?
probably just, we'll have to either make a box to put them in or something. Yeah, we'll have to make a
Okay.
box, I think, or say, you can mail it to, but box would probably
Just
be
feel
better.
like-
But you're not having people.
Nah, I don't want to email it. Or what we could put out a piece of paper that just says, go to this put a postcard out that says, go to this website for a survey, I don't
Maybe
know.
That's
having a-
probably a good idea.
Well, I like.
Then we don't have to
having
worry about collecting them.
Well,
Because can't you put a little page on the website, right? And just do that, and they can log in and just do that. Please go to Parks and Rec.
We'll figure out the hard copies.
yeah, because a lot of
Yeah.
the older people don't
Well,
even use the
The
computer.
computer,
Well,
right, that's
true.
my only,
Use the hard copies and the other thing is about taking it home and mailing it
Stop
in.
it.
yeah.
Somebody will just, they'll get lost
They-
in
they won't, yeah.
translation, people won't do that. To me,
Yeah,
it's like, if
too
you're
much
going to the
work.
library, you have 2 seconds, you just have a pencil there, just,
Yeah.
it doesn't take long.
Yeah, we'll make a box, I think.
Yeah,
We
I
hadn't
think
really
that's a
gotten
good
that far
point.
logistically to,
Oh,
but yeah.
Kirsten can do that.
Kirsten's got it.
She's got this. She's already thinking about decorating it.
Right.
Well, thanks for doing that. That's awesome. Okay, yeah,
All right.
tomorrow night, huh?
Tomorrow night is the fun.
Tomorrow.
Is our budget presentation to the town council. I've spent most of the last 2 days fine tuning my presentation and I'm 98% done. So I got one more day to finish it. I put on the agenda 7, but I found out after the fact that the meeting actually starts at 6:30. Now we're third on the list of
That was my
departments.
next question.
So theoretically, it probably will be about 7, but
Okay.
anybody can be there, great.
try.
Generally speaking, our budget is relatively neutral. The big questions really is going to be the waterfront improvement.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to nail down that presentation to anticipate every question that's going to come up and hope that they agree with it. So who knows at this point, do our best and see what we can do. So that is tomorrow night in the Matthew Thornton room, and again, we got bumped tonight because the council changed their meeting schedule, and they're in there with other departments tonight doing budgets, so, but by February, we should be back in the other room, should. So moving on to the other things, so we'll start with the holiday happenings, holiday parade and tree lighting, which was a bit of a disaster to put it bluntly. We going into that weekend, we were looking at rain and thunderstorms.
Yeah, it was
And we
terrible
kind of kept trying to
forecast.
warn all the float participants and say, I don't know, but we said, we'll try to make a decision by Saturday just to give you enough time and give us enough time to notify and make changes and, figuring if they're going to decorate their float, they're probably not going to do it till Saturday anyway. And of course, Saturday comes and it's like 1 o'clock and I'm like, I told people I'd tell them by noon. It's 1 o'clock. It's still calling for, and it was like 75% chance of thunderstorms at 3 o'clock on Sunday. And I'm like, you know. So I made the call to cancel, you know, and.
It was the right call.
And
It
yeah.
was a good call.
And the thought, you know, there's a couple thoughts. One was the high school band wouldn't have played because I don't play in the rain. Half the floats wouldn't have shown up anyway, and I think we had 19 floats, and so half of them wouldn't have shown up in the rain, based on past experience. And you know, I think it took me about 4 hours to get notifications out townwide and change signage. I ended up coming in Saturday night to put signage up at Watson Park and to change the banners and all that good stuff. And even if I had waited till Sunday morning, Sunday morning was still calling for thunderstorms in the afternoon. I'm like, okay, right call. Now, granted, it didn't end up thundering.
Yeah, but.
And I got raked over the coals for about a week and a half on social media because
Well, that's
the
all
way it
they
goes.
have to do.
And the problem was, well, there was a couple of
Positive.
problems. One was our Santa Claus, who we have to pay to be in the parade, and we have to book him like 4 months in advance to get our date, wasn't available the next weekend. He had other bookings, you know. You can't just take anybody off the street, especially if you've got kids like sitting on their lap, because you want to make sure they're background checked and, you know, all that good stuff. You know, funny how that works. Again, half the floats had told us in advance they wouldn't be available for another date, and we weren't available. Kirsten and I weren't available that next weekend. That following weekend, we ran the bus trip to New York on Saturday,
Right.
and I was actually hosting my family's Christmas party Sunday, which I had to kind of kick them out to get over here to do that. We did just the tree lighting and the scavenger hunt.
Right, I know, well, that
And
was
I kind of
good.
pulled a couple of my seasonal staff to help with the scavenger hunt. Kirsten helped a little bit with the scavenger hunt because she had a commitment. And so I kind of kicked out my family out to come over to do the tree lighting. And we still had probably 250 people at the tree
Really?
lighting.
Oh,
Pretty
good.
good turnout.
Well, that's good.
So not bad. You know, Santa was able to end the event that he was at and
Oh,
come over.
good.
So we had Santa for the tree lighting.
Good.
He just couldn't do the parade because that would have
Okay.
required him to be there 5 hours
called
earlier.
being
you know, whatever.
flexible.
So, but like I said, I got raked over the coals for a while there on
Well, you can't take
And,
it personal.
If you had it, they would have raked you over the
Well,
coals.
that's right. So
Yeah, and it's
if I
gone
held
the
it
other
and it
way.
had thundered, then, you know, would have been the opposite. But
Sure.
No.
Safe-
But,
safety first.
so anyway, so that was that fun. And then, yeah, so that was the holiday parade and tree lighting, and that was all good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And if things have since calmed down, it'll be interesting to see what happens with 4th of July with some of those people,
Well,
particularly the vocal critics, who tend to do both. Now, theoretically, summer, 4th of July, there's no makeup for that parade either because it's 4th of July and bands aren't going to come on an
it
alternate
is
day.
what it is, yeah.
They're there, they're getting paid. So we'll see what happens with 4th of July, which I'll be starting on Friday to book bands.
That's why we
Yeah,
got
well,
the
again,
big
thunderstorms
bucks,
could
you
happen
guys.
just as
That's why we're
more
glad to have
frequently,
you.
but anyway. Camp registration opened up this past Monday. We've already picked up 60 registrations for camp.
No kidding.
So that's a good sign. We did have to raise the cost of camp this year by about $15. We talked about that a little bit when we were talking about the budget in the fall, with the kind of indirect costs that the
Right.
town charges off for Kirsten and I's salaries. So, but so far it hasn't hurt us. But we'll see how that goes.
Matt, I think we've talked about this in the past, but did you offer some sort of financial help for
Yep.
people? Yeah, okay.
One, we have a sibling discount, so for a resident, it's $225 this year for camp per week, and then the second child is $200. So it's, saves $25. The town, through the welfare department, through Pat Murphy and the welfare department, does have financial aid, and you've probably heard me mention it, like last year, we have a number of different, kind of businesses and community groups that give us, that donate to that fund. So Merrimack 360, the old Shaw's Plaza, which
Yep.
is now the new plaza, gave us $1,200 last year. Merrimack Friends and Family, I think, gave us $1,000.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of
Nice.
different, there's a half a dozen groups that give us several $1,000s. So fortunately, we have a pool of money to start this year with, which usually we don't get until like April. So,
Just with
so
the
that is
increase, you might
available.
see that a little bit
They
more.
just have to, they apply through Pat, and then Pat, based on
Yep.
making sure that they qualify financially.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So off to a good start. Staff, we're also accepting, obviously, applications for staff, as well as waiting to hear from existing staff if they're coming back. On a good course, at this point, I heard from a lot of the key people that they are returning, so
Excellent,
that will be nice. The one I know I'm gonna need to fill is the waterfront director again this year. That's a tough one for us, and, you know, I think, let's see, this will probably be third in 4 years, I think, something like that, so it's almost every year, for that position, and it's just nature of the beast, you know, you need somebody old enough that has experience to supervise lifeguards, but is still around, you know, like a teacher, you know, and that's tough to find sometimes. So if anybody listening at home is interested, all the job postings are on our website at merrimackparksandrec.org. They can also stop by Town Hall here and pick up the applications, but obviously positions are open until filled. Most years we are substantially hired by, I'd say, April. Usually after April, it's maybe 1 or 2 left. So if you're thinking of applying, apply sooner.
Excellent.
We also have, I don't know where I was going with that, lost my train of thought. That's why I have to write it down, because I don't remember.
Understand.
So the ice skating rink now at Watson Park officially opened up this week on Monday.
Great.
And so we've added a new special event to kind of celebrate that. Kirsten, do you want to actually?
That's gonna be cool.
Sure, yeah. We have first annual Skate with the Date is coming up next weekend on the 26th from 5 to 8 at Watson. It's free, just bring your own skates. We don't have skate rentals or anything, so bring your own skates. And we'll be selling pizza and hot chocolate, and we'll have some music there, some lights. So just very casual, bring your friends, family. Let's have fun skating.
Good. Great.
Great
Thank you.
idea.
That's a good idea.
What are those dates again?
The 26th, 5 to 8.
Saturday the
5 to 8.
26th.
So
January.
what are we doing 5 to 8 for light situation?
So the MYA has has given us permission to use their portable lights for that one event.
Okay, what time,
Thank you.
what date was that again?
Next Saturday, the 26th.
5 to 8.
Anybody?
Yeah, it's open to absolutely anyone. So see you there. And
was
if we have volunteers, Matt's going to be at the MGM casino trip, so I'm going to be there. So if anyone wants to help me out selling pizza, hot chocolate, welcoming people, being a friendly face, let me know.
Okay.
I'll reach out to you.
Try to do that,
Is there what was the reason? I know we changed the skating rink location and all that fun stuff. Was there a reason for no lights? There was I think we had talked about it here once, but I figured it'd be a good time to mention that.
It was a timing issue, realistically, of getting, you know, with the early snow that we had this year and getting it into the ground and available funds to do that. But it's something we're hoping to have in place by next year for permanent lights. It was just a timing thing for this year. It's same with the water line, you know.
Gotcha. So this is going to be the permanent location. Lights will be installed next year.
So again, for this year, it's kind of in a temporary location. It's kind of in front of the pavilion.
Okay.
Next year, it's going to be kind of the left side of the road in that back left corner.
I thought so.
And again, it was one of these, we didn't have time before the ground froze to clear out the old brush and stuff that was in that and flatten the ground out enough to get it, to put it in its permanent home.
I wanted to ask because that did come up with a few people were asking about why there weren't any lights. Do you think it's feasible? I know sometimes you get those dollar lights at the dollar store. Is there a way to put them out?
I don't think that would be bright enough to.
Probably not.
No.
I tried.
And
Yeah.
it's supposed to be there after dusk anyway. So.
Well, unless it's a special event,
Oh,
girl.
for pity's sake.
Special event.
That's right. So it's a special event.
So again, something hopefully we'll be able to add, you know, in the future. So that's the rink. So coming up in February, we have 3 big events. First is our second annual Murder Mystery. Last year we sold out with 100 tickets. Right now we're at 75, 76, somewhere in there. So
So it must
hopefully
be
that will
the
sell out
time
as
of
well
year,
again. That's $60 a person, but that includes the show as well as a dinner. And just a fun night, family get a photo and all that kind of good stuff. The following weekend is our Cupid's Family Ball. It says fall, but it's really ball. And this came from a request from the school. The schools used to do kind of the mother, son, father, daughter type dances.
Yeah.
And we got asked feedback at the end of the summer from some people in town if we could do it and kind of bring it back, because the schools haven't done it recently and
right,
regularly. So we said, sure, why not? We'll try it. So it's Saturday the 16th over at the John O'Leary Adult Community Center. It's $8 a person, and so there'll be a DJ and music and
Nice.
photos and that kind of good stuff,
fun.
door prizes, and so registration obviously is open for that. And then the following weekend, because we like our busy Februaries, is the 26th Annual Winter Carnival at Wasserman Park. And we currently are recruiting businesses and community groups to kind of provide activities, but we have tentatively scheduled at this point the return of the ice fishing derby with the Lions Club, as long as the
good.
lake is frozen this year. It's been 4 years since we've had snow on Winter
I
Carnival,
know,
so
huh?
We're
fingers
due.
crossed. We do have the ice carving demo lined up. We do have Eastern Mountain Sports is going to be bringing snowshoes for people to demo, sledding, hopefully s'mores and campfires.
Yep.
We have a bunch of groups doing kind of games and raffles and bake sales and a little bit of everything. And so, yeah, we're just kind of plugging away, and we're slowly adding groups. And if the weather's good and there's snow, then we usually will get, 800 to 1,000 people in attendance. So,
But at least the function hall is functioning for
and
us.
the
too.
function hall has heat, which is always
Forum and a
nice compared to the old days when it did
bathroom
not. And I think that is all I have this month.
So what was the times on the winter?
The Winter Carnival is 12 to 3.
12 to 3, and any interested groups or parties who want to help or participate in
They
any
can
way.
either call us or register right through the website.
Fantastic.
And again, if you take a look at our website, which I should take a moment to plug again, merrimackparksandrec.org, we've got a wide variety of, besides summer camp coming up, we've got, Kirsten's programmed a whole bunch of new things this spring and summer, and it's being added to daily, so check out the website if you haven't looked at it recently, because there's quite a bit on there.
Excellent, thank you, Kristen. She's got that look, too.
Yep.
Exactly. Excellent.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
If the school and the families want to have a dance, why don't they have it at the school? They have a bigger hall than.
Well, the schools used to do
Oh,
it.
why don't they used to do it again?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because you're taking a weekend that we could be renting out the hall
I know.
or something to make money to support our John O'Leary.
Yeah,
So we're not always having to borrow from the town
yeah,
to support us. So,
yeah.
go.
I have a question for you. With regards to that, you were talking about making money. So at this dance, will there be food or, and drink that would be sold so that it would make money?
We don't get it, though.
Yeah.
John O'Leary doesn't get it. He gets it. We lose money when Matt uses our hall.
Although in retrospect, I use your hall about
That's
4 times a year.
That's okay. It's still money that
I
we
know.
might be losing.
We're supposed to be all community, working together. All groups should be working
We have to
together.
pay to have it cleaned and electricity
Yep.
and heat and,
Yep.
I mean, I'm on both committees, so
Yep.
I see both
It
sides.
needs to be said, yeah, it needs
Yep.
to be said.
You know, I'm just putting it out there.
Yep.
If the school would like a dance, they should be starting to hold dances.
Yeah.
You know, they used to have a lot of dances, but nobody. I
Well, this
guess,
came because the PTOs stopped doing them,
I
and
know.
people still wanted it to happen.
Because
So
they don't have any more volunteers.
That's really all, that's
That's
really
probably what it is,
the
yeah.
crux of the matter.
Well, maybe we need a little school committee for the kids, and they need to come over and help you guys do a little cleaning in the hall and prep and all that.
I don't think that works.
Good for the community.
That's right.
Yeah.
Work together.
Do a can out front.
We're here to help each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Is that all you have to say now, Maureen? Because you're up next. No, you're up next, honey. You're up next. Thank you,
I
Matt.
can put my 2 cents in. I
That's
mean,
fine. That's why
Absolutely.
we're here.
That's why we have a
No, it's
committee.
fine,
you
honey.
know.
And you're up.
and you're up.
Sorry, organization reports, please. Thank
Not
you.
funny.
It's not
Okay, we had elections of officers. We now have some new and some old offices. And Michelle, I'll give you the whole paper, so you don't even have to copy it. I wrote it down. We have President Robert Abro, Vice President Irene Jenis, Secretary Louise Tedeschi, Corresponding Secretary Phyllis Elkins, Treasurer Pauline Bergen, Assistant Treasurer Jeanette Pafalski, and we have other people that are voted in by the president. We have committees and stuff, and but they do that. So, and then we had signups for the Newport Playhouse. They're playing the Lone Star, and they're having a cabaret. February 11th will be installation of the offices, and we're going to do a coffee and a sharing table. We've just started that this year, the first Monday of the month. Everybody, well, not everybody, but different people bring in stuff to share, and they have coffee, hot chocolate, tea, and all kinds of delicious goodies.
Sounds yummy.
It is.
So
It's
you mean
delicious.
sharing of the food.
But sharing the food. Everybody's starving. So, and we have a lot of things that we're signing up for, but Lorraine sets out all these lists of places we're gonna go, so the ones that get the most are the ones we go to. But I did announce, that's why you got more people to go for the
We appreciate that.
casino. And the only trouble is the Zumba, I don't think will work for the seniors.
No?
First off, it's too late at night. They don't drive at night. It's 6:30 at night. No, we were talking about Zumba, but that's really too late for them, so. But thank you.
Yeah, no, it's adult, senior, anyone.
Yeah, I know.
It's running right now currently.
Yeah, see, so, but we couldn't make it, so. And that's it for now.
Excellent, thank you, Maureen. MYA, hi, Rick.
Thank you, Laura. We still have a couple openings on our executive board, our member-at-large position and our secretary's position. We'd love to have somebody out there help.
Look at Michelle.
Basketball and wrestling are currently in season. Wrestling has a large tournament this weekend at the high school, where they're expecting approximately 1,000 people, so it's a pretty big fundraiser for them as well. And I know lacrosse registration is currently open, and I believe that soccer, baseball, and softball either are open or will be opening soon. And as always, you can get more information at merrimacyouth.org. That's it.
Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
Sounds awesome.
Hi, Abby, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Thanks. Yeah, you too.
Thanks.
So, pre-enrollment is starting for next year. I'm going to be in junior, and that is terrifying. It's the last week of the semester, which means finals or midterms are next week. Equally terrifying, studying for that. Other than that, not much is happening.
Well, I appreciate you being here, hon, because it
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make sure you write your hours down of the commitments that you've made here, because that makes a difference. Okay, and Peter was not able to make it. Okay, and
School board.
No Brandy.
yeah. So, public, committee, any more comments? Next meeting.
I have a quick question before we, I forget and everybody scatters. What's this about Zumba?
One of the programs we added for adults was just a Zumba class. It started 2 weeks ago now, so it's already through. But we do have more adult fitness classes if you're interested in that type of programming.
At
Check
the park,
the website.
right? Mostly at the park.
Okay, I was just going to ask you if it was on the website for people to go and look for.
Yep, most of the new programs that we've added right now, aside from the youth stuff in the summer, is adult and toddler. So there's a new Toddler and Me series, and everything from like Toddler and Me baking, crafts, music, walking, all different types for different seasons. And for adults, there's we just added Sunset Beach Yoga for the summer, so that might be really nice and relaxing.
Ooh,
Hopefully the
I
beach
can
project
get to
goes
that.
through.
That was my question. Which beach? But okay.
At our park, at Wasson
Nice.
Park. Other fitness classes, some art classes, so check it out. And more stuff's going to be added as soon as instructors get back to us.
No boat yoga, right?
No boat yoga.
no boat yoga.
Yeah. So was Zumba only 2 classes?
No, it's an 8-week class, but registration's already started.
Oh, so they're not kind of doing late
There's no
joiners.
drop-in for this one, but we're likely gonna, I talked to the instructor last class, and she's gonna run it again for us next season. So if you're interested in Zumba, check our website out probably in about 2 or 3 weeks, because we'll probably have another session go.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Rick has a question, comment?
Just curious, where do you hold these fitness classes?
Most of the fitness classes are inside the function hall, except for the occasional, like on the beach or something that's
Yeah.
very program
Okay.
specific.
Thank you.
But it's right in the function hall, trying to get more use out of that.
I would think too, the rug would make a difference in some ways. Better?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
The acoustics alone calm down a little. It's great. I'll have to check out the website too. Thank you, Kirsten, for.
Oh, yoga sounds interesting. I don't even know.
Okay, so I'll touch on the yoga. So there's actually 2 different yoga classes that we added. One is yoga for athletes, so that's going to be a little bit more intense, harder poses, whatever. And then after that, it's the relaxing, enjoying beach yoga.
Mhm.
So
That sounds
whatever one,
relaxing, yeah.
float your boat, you can check it out.
Excellent. Well, thank you for doing all that, both of you.
Yeah.
I have a question. So is that open to only Merrimack residents, or is that open to anybody?
Yeah, all of our programs are open to anyone. Some programs, it's a little bit higher of a fee if you're not a Merrimack resident, because we like to, really celebrate that. But most of them are just a uniform price, resident, non-resident. Anyone can come.
Cool.
Anyone's welcome.
Thank you.
Perfect, perfect. So, any other comments, questions? So we're all set to meet on Wednesday, February 20th, and then March 20th, so.
March 20th.
You making the motion?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I second. Oh,
Is it a tie?
7:45.
Can you
I
register a
second.
tie?
A tie?
7:46.
Boy, that's pretty cool.
That's